Hey guys, Josh MUFC here. Just giving you a quick video here of Manchester United related transfers and links as per certain British publications, and maybe just some of my thoughts on what the news is saying at the moment. Now, just a quick waiver, I'm not in the know. I don't claim to be this encyclopedia of transfers. I'm basically just going to accumulate some of the stories, give some thoughts on them, and then hopefully get you guys leaving some comments, and we can have a discussion at some point. So just in short, I've been making a couple of graphical updates to the channel. I've got myself a little logo. I'm going to eventually hit up StreamYard to get guests on and discussion panels and all this sort of stuff. So I'm in the process of updating things. Right now it's just a selfie camera and handwritten notes on a pad, as you see here. Chicken scratchings. I don't exactly have the best handwriting style, but I'll try and read through it because I can't read my own writing sometimes. So yeah, bear with me while I'm getting used to ironing out the creases in this channel. Anyway, so as we know, we're about a week or so into the transfer window. There's not a lot going on around United. Lots of links, lots of waiting, lots of discussions, monitoring players, all this sort of stuff. This is just par for the course. The United fan base seemed to be quite impatient. At least the Twitter fan base is. But that's not a reflection on most fans. It's just the socials are the loudest out there at the moment. So anyway, I'm going to start with the main one everyone's talking about, Frenkie de Jong. As per the Telegraph, basically they're just saying Ten Hag wants Frenkie de Jong to be brought into the team before United leave on pre-season tour. Going into Asia, down here to Australia, and he basically just wants to get his key target, which he views de Jong as. He views him as an essential piece, an essential cog to the machine to start building his system. Now, with Donny van de Beek already in the team, links to Christian Eriksen, and Scott McTominay and Fred, they're not really going to be, I think, as important as they have been under the previous managers. But I think if this is true and Ten Hag wants to get him in before pre-season, the board really need to hurry up and get these discussions and these agreements done. But the Barcelona financial issues have been temporarily relieved, selling merchandising and broadcast rights, etc. So from what I understand from the Barcelona side of things is that the direction they're looking to go for their midfield is sort of Gavi and Pedri and whoever else they can bring into the club and register by the time the season starts. So I think regardless of all of the rumours, the general consensus is they're looking to move on Frenkie de Jong. So in that regard, I think there is still a really good chance for United to pick him up. I think somewhere along the line they've said that there's already been an offer made, but it was rejected. If they're really that keen to get rid of him, he's a big wage earner. He'll at least get them 50-60 mil. That's going to go a long way for Barcelona to cut down the costs. So keep your eye on that. And I think we'll see him sooner rather than later. It just depends if the United the contract negotiators and everyone is doing their job properly. We should see him through the doors quite soon. Moving on to another player, Marcus Rashford. The Sun is reporting Ten Hag wants to keep Rashford at the club. He's excited to work with him, and he's looking forward to basically bringing him back to the form that we're used to seeing. Now, that's sort of been widely reported. It's not like this is breaking news. A lot of these transfer stories and rumours and moving ons at the club, they're all just recycled news, just worded differently. You'll get all your in the knows, you'll get all your transfer gurus. They'll say loosely the same thing. It's not really groundbreaking stories, but so apparently Ten Hag sees him as a very important part of the machine, and why not? Because when Rashford's on form, he's lightning. It's just whether it's mental health issues, whether it's off the field stuff, it's hard to know, but he hasn't been himself the last year and a bit. So we'll see what happens with that. As per Goal, I think their website, just a website, They're saying that Ten Hag, again, wants to keep Rashford, but he wants to keep him as a left winger for this season. The story is that Ten Hag may be viewing Rashford as a successor to Cristiano Ronaldo as a striker. Now, on that point, I don't like that idea. Rashford has shown that really he's more of a balls of feet kind of striker. So kind of when you saw Ibrahimovic linking up with Pogba on long balls, that's the sort of player that I see him as, someone that can come onto a ball rather than turn back to goal and link the play. So if that's what Ten Hag wants, I think he has a lot of work to do to get Rashford to a standard like that. I mean, again, I'm not sure if this story is true. Oh, again, this is just speculation and rumours. So if that's the case, I'd love to see the result. If Ten Hag can get Marcus Rashford turning into a Harry Kane type number 9, then all the better for Man United. And if not, if he has another crap year, I think it should be gone. So yeah, that's an interesting little piece on Rashford. Moving on to a bit of news about Eric Bailly. Now, the Mirror, I'm not sure how credible any of these guys are, by the way. I'm just reading what's been out there. The Mirror have said Eric Bailly is linked to Newcastle. Apparently, Newcastle had another target. I think it's Sven Botman. I think he plays for Lille. Now, they're actually having trouble agreeing a fee and a contract for Sven Botman, so they're looking a little closer to home, and Eric Bailly is apparently the one somebody they're interested in. Now, this is news to my ears. This is very, very good. Very, very good if it's going to happen, because as much as I love Bailly, he's reckless. He's a tough tackler, but he's made of biscuits. His hamstrings are made of cheese sticks. Like any sort of remote impact, he can't put 2 or 3 games together without getting injured. Quality player when he is fit. He has got us out of a few tight spots defensively, granted, but it's not sustainable. And the fact that Ollie probably lied to him and said, "Yeah, you're going to be essential. Yeah, here, sign the contract, we'll protect the value," and he basically was tumbleweed. He was never seen again. Cameo appearance or two. He's always made a good account of himself, but he's clumsy and never has a long enough time. So if this is true and Newcastle are looking at Bailly, I'll fly over to England. I'll rent a car. I'll drive him across the north myself to deliver him to St. James Park. So be good, be gone with you. Thanks for helping win a Europa League, but that's about the extent of it. So very good if that does happen. And moving on now, another target that's been fairly well publicised is Christian Eriksen. Now, even though Spurs are linked with him and he is looking at returning to Spurs as a sort of a homecoming, I guess, sort of thing you could view it, but the United apparently have made an offer, according to Sky. Ten Hag does see him as an ideal competitor for Bruno Fernandes' position, and in creating probably a 3-man midfield, I'd say it would be De Jong, Van der Beek, and Bruno/Eriksen. You could probably interchange Donny Van der Beek with Fred, McTominay, if you're sort of looking at the available players in the midfield. So I think Eriksen is class. Like if we can get him in, that will only spur Bruno on to actually basically improve. And if that's the case, if they're battling it out for the one spot, or if they rotate, because Bruno has been played into the ground over the last few years. He's basically made appearances in every single game. He was the saviour in Ollie's time, when as soon as he came in that January after that thumping, and he's pumped out the goals and assists and key passes and attacking ball. But all the debate about Bruno, that's for another stream. But so if Christian Eriksen does come in, then welcome to Manchester, because the guy's class. I've always rated him. Some of the fans, some of the outlets are sort of a bit nervous, apprehensive about the issue with his pacemaker. But I mean, he came to Brentford and he's shown that he's definitely still up to it. And it didn't seem there were any ongoing issues on his return to the Premier League. So hopefully that's when we can get across the line. Let's see. All right, so we'll move on to an outgoing now. Dean Henderson. Sky Sports is also reporting that there have been personal terms agreed with United, Henderson, and Nottingham Forest. Now, initially, there was going to be a year-long loan with a £20 million, euro, whatever option to buy at the end of his loan. But apparently, according to United sources, according to Sky, is that it's just a 1 year loan with no option. Which, to me, I think if he does a job for Nottingham, keeps them up, because I predict they're going to go straight back down to the Championship. If he keeps them in the Premier League, as he did with Sheffield, he's shown that he's a quality keeper. Surely that's an investment worth making at the end of your 12 months. And again, this is more from a fan side saying you need to get these overpaid players out of the club, because they're just, you think about the amount of money he's on. I think it's like 100 and something thousand pounds a week as a number 2 goalkeeper. And normally, most other clubs in the Premier League, they pay that much for their first team goalkeeper. So he's on a lot of money, doing nothing, and apart from the odd appearance in a domestic cup or possibly a sort of a Champions League or Europa League, dead rubber. So it's really not worth the time. Your second keeper should be good, should be more than willing to fill in, which Henderson is, but for that money, I'd like to see him gone, have that wage bill money freed up for, a De Jong, a Jurriën Timber, one of these links for people to come into the club where they can go, okay, we have this much more money. It's going to give us this many more millions per year that we can dedicate to you, plus bonuses, plus whatever else they want to have on the agenda. So that's something that I hope does happen. I would like to see Dean Henderson get more time. I think he is, in my opinion, England's best goalkeeper. And with the World Cup coming up in December, the end of the year, he needs to be in that team. He needs to be playing first team football. Cup appearances aren't going to do it. So the move is good for him. The move is good for United. They're freeing up that money. I'm not sure what sort of ratio they're looking at when it comes to who pays what amount of funds. It's because I know usually United might pay, say, 60% and then Nottingham might pay 40%, for example, of his weekly wages. So even getting something like that off the books, you've got that much free for that year to put onto another player. And if in the end it doesn't work out and he wants to come back, or he does come back, then that's something to deal with next summer. So anyway, so again, just a quick hash over. Frenkie de Jong, Ten Hag wants him before the transfer window. Marcus Rashford, it's being reported that Ten Hag wants him to stay and views him as a successor to Cristiano Ronaldo in the striker position, which I kind of disagree with, but we'll see what happens there. Eric Boy has been reportedly linked to Newcastle because their pursuing of a centre back has stalled for Sven Botman. Christian Eriksen, the offer's apparently being made by United. Ten Hag sees him as a competitor with Bruno, and Dean Henderson, loan fee and everything won't be a problem. Personal terms agreed, and it's just a matter between the two clubs to come up with who's going to pay what and the 1 year loan. So anyway, that's about it for now. It's kind of quiet around other targets. Jurriën Timber, there's not been too many updates, and there's only a couple of weeks until pre-season starts, and they're going on tour. So hopefully we see some movement in the transfer window. I'm excited to see what happens. I'll be back the same time next week with another transfer update. And guys, take it easy, take care of yourselves, and don't forget, go over to Talk Football. I'm a panelist, I'm a regular contributor. Go over, smash a like, comment, and subscribe there and here, and I will see you next time. Catch you later, guys. Bye.